Hi, I'm Carter. Thanks for coming to my site. I started off in internet marketing building websites for lawyers. I was spending 70 to 80 hours a week building and designing the websites from scratch and making 20% margins. I was not pumped about this. Then I found websites where you could buy website templates that only required reskinning the design. All the development was done already. It cost 5% of what a custom build would have cost me. I started doing this and was able to deliver the websites in a third of the time for the same price. My margins went up to 80%. I started in the app market and realized that if I tried to build apps from scratch like everyone else, I was going to have the same fate as I did in websites. So I started finding developers that would sell me licenses of their code, and all I had to do was turn around and reskin it. I didn't have to build it myself, and no one else was doing this. With this new strategy, I was able to produce apps faster and cheaper than anyone else. The first month produced about 4 apps, the second month about 10 apps, and so on. Everything grew geometrically until I had over 100 apps live in the store. They were pumping out over $65,000 a month when a hedge fund offered to buy me out. I had developed a powerful strategy that led to huge increases in revenue with the lowest possible costs and the fastest possible turnaround. The best part is that it's easy to teach and very simple in nature. To make money in the app market, you need a lot of downloads. To get a lot of downloads, you need to either have a few big apps or a lot of small apps. It's really risky and expensive to build big apps, and there's huge competition. It's time-consuming and cost-ineffective to build a lot of small apps from scratch. The only way to be profitable is to produce more apps in a shorter amount of time for less cost. When you purchase codes, you cut your costs and the entire time period it would have ordinarily taken to work with a developer, which could have been months. You just have to focus on design and maybe a few small development tweaks. Reskinning apps means just redoing the graphics, not the code. You now have assets that you can leverage yourself, or you can hire cheap designers to help get them out the door. The only thing stopping you is how fast you can produce new apps and finding good code. Once people caught wind of this new system actually works, they began throwing up full sites dedicated to source code. They opened the gates to anyone who had code and didn't ask questions. Because of this, there are marketplaces popping up that have hundreds of codes to choose from. The problem is that often these codes come from people that don't understand what makes a code successful and are selling the code because it's a bad code and they need to make their money back. In this environment, the customer gets screwed. You get screwed. If you're trying to find good codes, how do you even know what you're buying? The people running these other sites certainly don't care if you're successful. They just want your money. Because I know how to identify solid codes, I scour these sites and hand select the ones that are actually worth buying and then put them on my site. You don't have to look through dozens of codes because I've already done all that work for you. And then I prove to you why it's a good investment. I had a great run and I learned a lot. Just like all the other free information on my site, I pass this along to my readers in the form of doing code research for them. If you join the list, you get access to the best codes and exclusive deals that you would never find on these other crowded marketplaces. So avoid those low quality marketplaces and instead get access to the best codes and get exclusive deals at bluecloudsolutions/source-codes. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you guys soon.